to raid Diddy's house. They didn't go in there to go get this guy who was about to get on a plane with some drugs, get him basically like a misdemeanor or maybe I can't remember what it is in terms of how serious the charges were, but it's pretty much gonna get dismissed with a slap on the wrist or get dropped, right? And Brendan Paul. Okay. Actually, I'll just play this.
May have even bigger problems, as if he doesn't have enough right now, because one of his very close associates has now been charged with a
actually wrong. So that's when he was charged. This is when he was
felony
charged.
that could land him in prison for years. But there may be a caveat here, because it could be that this guy, his name is Brendan Paul, might flip on Diddy.
Yeah, because now he could be facing some serious jail time. And now he's been charged with felony possession of cocaine and also marijuana candy.
So we should explain this. We're going to go back to the day of the raids.
Day of the raids, as the houses, Diddy's houses are being raided. He is at Miami's Opa-locka Airport, about to get on his private jet, and they are stopped by the cops there.
So here's the shot of the jet.
Yes.
Now we'll show you. Actually, Brendan Paul is there.
He's
next
in
to
handcuffed there, being walked away. Diddy's in the blue pants, and the state officials took him aside.
And they've charged him with possession of cocaine and marijuana candy. Now, this carries a pretty hefty prison sentence. And the question, why is Florida jumping like this to charge this 25-year-old?
Yeah, no, this is a huge development in this case because, as you said, during that raid, officials say they found the marijuana-laced candies and the cocaine. What he's been charged with is possession of cocaine, which, according to these charging documents, is a third-degree felony, and he faces up to 5 years in prison. That's how they've charged it, as a third-degree felony. And he faces...
Now, the update on this is that... And let me play the recent update, which is where are we at with it? Give me 1 second. The update is like he's getting a slap on the wrist, right? You know, here we go. Sorry. Perfect.
I firmly believe the feds are watching everybody in Diddy's universe.
And people are thinking, you know, is this guy Brendan Paul, did he flip? Is he already going to be working for the feds so they're making sure his state case kind of go away? He's not going to get charged federally, but they're probably holding some shit over his head saying you're only not going to get charged if you're going to help us put Diddy in jail. Listen to what happened to his state case, right?
P. Diddy's alleged drug mule will not face jail time after reaching a plea agreement with prosecutors in Florida. But could the feds still be on his tail?
If Brendan Paul ends up in a more serious situation, they can use that as leverage to try to find out more information about what went on with Diddy's parties and at Diddy's homes.
This is 25-year-old Brendan Paul. He's a former Syracuse University basketball player, but he's better known off the court.
Okay, let's skip through this to hear what's happened to his thing. Here we go.
Paul's attorney, Brendan Bieber, released this statement in regard to the plea. Quote, Brendan accepted the prosecution.
Okay, here's the plea. Sorry.
Quiet in Diddy's world for long. On March 27th, just 2 days after those federal raids, Brendan Paul was arrested at the airport in Miami while trying to board Diddy's private jet.
If you're Brendan Paul, right before the feds take you away, you see the feds coming in, what's the number that Diddy got to tell you to stay quiet? Because remember, you the one bringing maybe the party favors, so you probably know about the freak offs. You bring in the fun. You bring in the cocaine. Or do people take ketamine, the weed? You bring in, you know what I mean, the fucking LSD, acid, Molly, like perks, Xanax, whatever the fuck they be doing. Shit, so you probably seen some shit or probably know some knowledge of some shit. You probably know some dates. Maybe you got like some text messages or whatever. Oh, niggas is saying 5 mil? You keep quiet? Somebody says 3.5 mil. Y'all niggas are specific with the numbers. How much hey, keep in mind, you're a fucking drug dealer, okay? Like, you're a basketball player whose career didn't go anywhere. You're a fucking drug dealer. You're not the moral police here. You're not like, oh, no, finally Diddy is going to get, there's going to be justice for the bitches he's beat. No, you're like, fuck it. I guess I'm done flying on these private jets and serving and having the cocaine, like, lit up for all these people. How could I still get a bag and probably hold it down for Diddy a little bit? And Diddy probably says, yo, I just need you to shut the fuck up. Don't tell him nothing. Now, that might put you in jail for a couple years, possibly, right? Because if you're not operating with the feds, they're like, you might go to jail. What's that money, that dollar amount that Diddy would have to promise you?
Paul was arrested and charged with cocaine and marijuana possession, but the latter charge was quickly dropped. Just this week, there's been movement in his case in the way of a plea deal. The bottom line, Brendan Paul will not face jail time.
And he would have been facing 5 years in prison.
That's former prosecutor Melba Pearson, who previously worked in the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office, the same one that brought charges against Paul. As she explains, Paul's plea deal included something called a diversion program.
But since he did not have anything in his past, he didn't have a criminal history, he was offered what was called diversion. And what that does is that it gives you the opportunity for participation in a program for 6 months. If you don't get arrested again, if you complete the program, so it could be drug therapy, it could be counseling, it could be community service, it could be any of a number of things, it just could be a fine. You comply, you do all of that, and then after 6 months, the charges get dropped against you, meaning that you don't have anything on your criminal record in terms of a conviction. The rest will still be on your record. You'll have to disclose that if let's say you do a job application and they ask whether or not you've been arrested, you have to answer yes. But if they ask you if you've been convicted, you can check no, which is, again, a huge thing in terms of collateral consequences and being able to move forward with your life after interaction with the criminal justice system.
Paul's attorney, Brendan Bieber, released this statement in regard to the plea. Quote, Brendan accepted the prosecutor's offer to permit his entry into the diversion program, which, after completion, the case against him will be dismissed in its entirety. The Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office also made a statement saying the plea was a, quote, standard offer to a nonviolent defendant with no priors, who was arrested for a possession case instead of a much more serious trafficking case. From the time Brendan Paul was arrested.
So, again, this is raising some red flags because they're like, yo, this guy's getting off with a slap on the wrist. But that's stateside. Now, people believe that this is a hint to mean, yo, the feds has this guy working. That's going to be also interesting, right?
In late March to now, it hasn't been that long, about 2 months. Are you surprised at how quickly things were wrapped up?
I'm not incredibly surprised because, again, this is something that happened in Miami. This is an office that I used to work for, and I remember the volume of cases I had when I was a prosecutor, especially a line prosecutor handling that level of felony. So that is a normal outcome. That's not very bizarre. And actually, to put a finer point on it, I don't think that he had to testify or do anything else in exchange for the plea, right? Normally, if we see a case wrap up.
Well, and so she's saying that she don't think he's snitching. Here's the thing, though. Well, that is state court. And this is the thing about the law, right? The state and the feds could charge you for the same thing, right? And oftentimes they're almost in bed with each other, knowing who's going to go for the more serious crimes. Usually, from what we've seen, they allow the feds to take precedence with that, supposedly because the feds have a lot more resources, a lot more money to really fund case investigations, this and third. Which, again, if we're thinking that he might be in this like racketeering empire organization that they're building out for Diddy as the guy who provides the drugs to help the freak officer. He provides drugs for the women to like stay unconscious or, you know, stay intoxicated, whatever the case is. he would still be in the feds, focus, and maybe, he's working for the feds for maybe like a proffer, like they probably did a proffer session, and maybe like he has to do a few things or he has to testify later on, and his state case is just gonna go away, which also kind of doesn't bring too much attention to him because I learned this from The Wire. I mean, some of y'all are probably street news in here. Yo, if the cops came, if all y'all selling drugs on the corner and the cops come and everybody go to jail and one nigga don't go to jail, you're thinking that nigga's working with the cops, okay? Usually they say even when they're trying, like a law enforcement officer or a snitch or a CI or whatever is buying drugs and it's like a controlled buy or whatever the case is, they're going to tell the cops, you better lock me up too, because they're going to think I told. I mean, you let me out at the station, but you got to lock me up too. I got to look like I'm really in this shit, right? So the way how this is turning out is like, oh, okay, this guy, like, he's getting the same treatment as anyone. But except, the feds are looking at him, and the feds are probably going to try to twist that arm.
This quickly, that would be the first thing that
somebody said, ain't no way you learned it from a TV show. Bro, what do you think, I'm selling drugs in a corner? No. Where the hell would I learn that from?
I'd be asking, like, oh, okay, what else did you do in exchange for that favorable plea? But looking at his history, looking at the volume of cases, and also looking at the severity of the charge, in the universe of things, it's not trafficking. It's literally possession of cocaine with an argument that could have been made that.
Okay. And she's talking about just basic evidentiary shit that was found, right? It's not necessarily trafficking. He didn't get on the plane, right? He didn't have intent to get on the plane, but he didn't get on the plane yet before they stopped him. But here's the thing. He probably got on the plane mad time. He's on Mad Manifest before. And even if they don't have him having drugs on the plane at that point, they probably could have somebody else that corroborated that this motherfucker has been bringing drugs from point A to point B. So again, like state police is not going to try to build a big ass investigation just around this one guy. The feds, that's their thing. The feds is going to have this bigger investigation of, no, it's not just him having drugs at the airport. This is a pattern of trafficking because he's done it like mad times before, and we've been surveilling him before. We have access to FAA logs and all these other things that showcases this nigga constantly being on the jet with Diddy.
This was for personal use. I wasn't trying to resell it. I wasn't trying to, take it overseas or make money off of it. This is just, for me to party this weekend, right? When you look at it from that perspective.
By the way, and I know I'm a little scatterbrained because I know sometimes these things get tedious and I don't want you guys to get bored and just be like, all right, what's next? Yo, they just put out a list. This list is crazy. They said this is a list of celebrities who's been supporting Diddy recently. They said all these people are in Diddy's comments condoning this shit. Here's his list. Number 1, Scrappy. And I guess that's Lil Scrappy, right? I think he's a Love and Hip Hop star at this point. You got Stevie J. Well, he works with the Hitman and he works with Diddy to make music. So I would imagine he would, hey, his bread is getting buttered over there. No Diddy, like all pun intended, right? Meek Mill. Okay, all right. I think that's explanatory. Somebody said that audio of allegedly Meek and Diddy has been burned in their mind for life. So number 4 says Carisha. Okay. Somebody says Kalina from Dirty Money. Somebody says Fat Joe. Somebody says Busta Rhymes. Somebody says Miss Hilton. Is Miss Hilton? That's his baby mama. Which, of course, what's she gonna do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, she has a kid with him, and probably she doesn't work, and all the financial funding for not only her kid but probably her lifestyle comes from Diddy. Erykah Badu, she I don't think she gives a fuck. You know what I mean? I'll be very honest. I remember when everybody was saying X is a bad guy, this and third, and she was just like, fuck all that. I love X. Like, so I think she's just an independent thinker. But we see Bia, Rico Love, Joel Santana, which recently, we're going to get to talk about that too, Chad. Yo, because if I didn't name today's stream what I named it as, what I was going to name it was, does Drake have any real friends? It's no way that Joel Santana is the only person who has given like a really firm, and no Diddy on this, firm like co-sign of Drake giving all this shit. Everybody else is either quiet or they're just acting like they don't know what's going on. So I was going to name the stream, does Drake got any real friends? Because I've never seen a time where a nigga do need a friend, and now one of his niggas says, yo, I'm only here to just tell y'all, Y'all are fucking weird for even trying to put that jacket on my man. That's my man's. And me and him been in Turks and we fucked 15,000 bitches and none of them, we ain't hear that at all. And Carl Thomas. Oh, shit. They're having the who support Diddy list. This is crazy. This is crazy. All right.
If the outcome, the resolution, the plea makes a lot of sense and is not outside of the norm.
We have to pause this Brendan Paul story for just a sec to give you a law and crime legal
Okay.
and harming people. I think that distinction would have been problematic if there was some discussion of him harming people. Then he may not have gotten a diversion plea. He may have gotten something along the lines of probation, and maybe there would have been more pressure on him to testify against Diddy in any investigation. Again, that's not to say that the feds can't call him up and say, we need to talk to you. That can happen at any point in time, separate and distinct from this case.
Is it possible that investigators asked Brendan Paul anything about Diddy, or would they not even ask at all because it was completely unrelated?
I think that it's two unrelated investigations, right? So he was caught.
Okay, and again, we're gonna kind of keep going back to this. Maybe it's my ADHD a bit. You know what's also kind of viral or getting some attention right now? This is kind of crazy. So the former Love and Hip Hop star Rocky Thunder. She used to be on a reality show, Love and Hip Hop. I think when Joe Budden was on it, and like Tahiri and what's the other girl's name? Kaylin Garcia. She tweeted out, she says, everyone that has made $1 in this industry knew that man was fucking her up and others. They said, y'all knew Diddy wasn't shit, but y'all was too busy sucking it for bum deals that you went Silence of the Lambs on it. Sick fucks. Then she tweets out the video and she says, I had a conversation with Van Lathan in 2019 and told him about Diddy abuse, and he said he wouldn't touch it because that was his friend. Then he called Joe Budden to tell him where his baby mama was hiding from him. Ah, the days. 2024, the year of the truth. And he says, I walk with God, I'm gonna relax. You kind of get where this is getting to, right? This is about to be like a really nasty web of tying a lot of different people of either saying you're complicit because you didn't speak up or you didn't platform people that were speaking up, or it's going to be like, yo, well, what about this other guy? And we say he's been abusive to blah, 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 blah. And, so to my boy Van Lathan, he responded. Van actually responded by saying, what did he say? Okay. He said, where? He said this, I've spoken to Rocky. Oh my God, Jesus Christ, the nigga wrote a fucking book. So I've spoken to Rocky and addressed both things in the order that are being brought up. Around 2018, 2019, I was hosting a podcast called The Red Pill. Around that time, Rocky came to me, wanted to do 2 separate interviews. The first one was with Gina Hua, a longtime friend of Diddy's. At the time, she had gone on Tasha K's platform and accused Diddy of abuse. I passed on the interview. I passed because honestly, it's not now or not has it ever been the type of thing I do. Also, my podcast was in partnership with TMZ. You can't let someone come on that type of platform and just lob allegations. You're exposed to a lawsuit. If there's evidence, photos, and videos, that gives you more latitude, but I hadn't seen that. When I declined the interview with Rocky, I mentioned I'd known Diddy for around a year at that point. He'd been trying to get me to come work at Revolt. I had to tell her that because if she finds out later, what? What? When I declined the interview with Rocky, I also mentioned I had known Diddy around a year at that point. He'd been trying to get me to come work at Revolt. I had to tell her that because if she finds out later, it looks bad. Also, when I asked people around Diddy about what I heard, and I did, they said that I would have looked like a fool for doing an interview because she would 100% be next to him again. I want to make something clear. This had nothing to do with Cassie. The first time I'd heard any allegations surrounding Cassie was a lawsuit. The first time I'd seen any evidence was the disgusting video today. The only time I'd ever in life heard of Diddy assaulting a woman was that one in Tasha K's interview 9 years ago, in 9 years of being a TMZ. Really? Wow. So if Rocky feels like she was trying to say something and I wasn't listening, I apologize. In my time at TMZ, I turned down so many interviews, stories, tell-alls. It was like second nature. I watched the entire Tasha K interview and decided the interview wasn't for me. As far as me letting her know I had a relationship with him, I thought I had to. I might have communicated in that way that didn't do me any favors. Some months after Rocky contacted me again to have Sin Santana come on the show. Sin and Joe had just broken up, and Rocky said she wanted to come on the show to discuss her music. I was thinking about doing it. To Rocky's credit, she communicated clearly she wanted this interview to have nothing to do with their breakup. I couldn't see doing an interview and not asking about it. It wouldn't make any sense. Since I knew I had to ask about it, I hit Joe to let him know she would be on, and the call didn't go great. At the end of it, decided the interview wasn't for me. Too much drama. Sorry. And once again, I'd have been chasing clicks. I was never told Sin was hiding from Joe. I was never told there was allegations of abuse in their relationship. I was never even told the nature of their split. If the ex-spouse of anyone I know decides they want to do an interview with me, I'm definitely calling the person I know unless I'm told not to. That's professional courtesy. Unless I'm given information, it's a dangerous situation. Rocky says that by alerting Joe, I alerted him that they were in California for interviews, thus telling an alleged abusive spouse where his baby mama was. Only I didn't know any of that. But once again, I'm sorry to have played any part in it. I should have just declined the interview and said nothing. Last thing, Rocky is a decent lady who had this industry show her its ass. She's been abandoned and kicked around like a lot of sisters have. I have no ill will towards her because of her tweet today, but it wasn't all fair. I've done nothing to have my name connected to that video today, to sex trafficking, to drugging or assaulting women. I've never participated in or given cover to anyone I know to be doing that over the last 5 years. Rocky and I have talked here and there, and I was never even given an inkling she felt this way about me. But it's an opportunity to reevaluate how you think you're showing up and how you actually are. God damn it. My boy Van Lathan got on his eloquence tip, bro. Jesus Christ. All right. Okay, all right. What? I'm trying to see if he said anything more important. Okay. They said, if you're defending me, don't. Seriously, I really have no idea what I've done to deserve this, but universe don't make mistakes. I'm out. Yo, Van, man. Yo, brother. I get we in like this like weird time, man. Bruh. Yo, man. I wish I would be on social media and tell people, nah, don't defend me. Oh, hell out of here. Like, listen. Van, if you ain't do nothing, you ain't do nothing, gang. Salute to Rocky, though, but, if you ain't do nothing, you ain't doing nothing. Yo, Van is such a good guy, but I think he's scared like that woke mob. He's like, yo, y'all can just attack me. It's okay. Oh, hell nah. Hell nah, nigga. I didn't do them interviews not because I'm trying to suppress nothing. I ain't do them because I didn't want to get messy. That's it. That's all you got to say, bro. You ain't got to apologize for nothing. Yo, these days, you almost got to, like, apologize to all these people. It's like, bruv. Like, bruv, bro. Like, bro, they're gonna. Yo, let me tell you this: the biggest sin in 2024 is being born with a goddamn cock. You feel me? Like anything you do is you're suppressing somebody's voice. You're abusive. You're complicit. Like niggas, bruh. I'm telling you, niggas, bruh. Don't be. I don't like when the dudes just start copping pleas all over the place. Like, no, I'm sorry. No, you get what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying like maybe if you did some shit, but bruh. People misunderstanding you? Like, Jesus Christ, dog. Anyway, Van, my guy. I'm telling you, bro. Okay. Anyway, let me see what else they've been talking about with this shit. All right, back to this shit right here. This is about, like, this drug mule. I think we're all believing that, yo, this dude is working, bro. This dude is somehow working.
To decide if they want to question him and how they want to question him with regards to Diddy and the sexual assault allegations.
That leads to my next question, because Brendan Paul's arrest happened just days after these federal raids at two of Diddy's homes. And we know that Brendan Paul was arrested by Miami-Dade officials and Homeland Security, the same people who performed the raids at Diddy's homes. Do those two things relate at all? Is it possible that Homeland Security was keeping an eye on Diddy?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. This is a matter of trying to catch everybody they can in his universe. And again, use that as an opportunity to put pressure on him in terms of getting him to cooperate with the investigation, or again, just trying to figure out what he actually did, when he did it, and what charges can be filed against him. So it's connected from that perspective. But again, I don't see the Miami-Dade Police Department questioning him about what's happening with Diddy. That would be up to Homeland Security,
Feds.
basically federal agents who
Yeah.
would be leading that particular investigation.
Paul's attorney says he's already part of the
Yo, they are like they so devious with like pulling up like these quote unquote receipts. Then they now pulled up a receipt where they're like, yo, they said Diddy had the nerve. They said Diddy had the nerve to thank Cassie in his 2022 BET Achievement Award. And by the way, I'm gonna tell you when I'm gonna actually, even though I do think like it's kind of over. And when I mean over, like Diddy's still gonna be rich. Like, don't get me wrong, he's still gonna have some type of role, probably in the music business or entertainment business somehow. Just maybe not as forward facing. When I say over for Diddy, it's like you're going to jail, right? Like that's what I would be like, yo, it's over. I think that would happen. Remember when Bill Cosby, all of his like honorary degrees started getting revoked? Like all the places, this is like a customary thing. Like some of these celebrities go do speeches at these like universities for commencement. They'll get an honorary degree, you know, as a doctorate or whatever, just because, you know, they either donated money there or whatever the case is. Has Howard, I think Diddy went to Howard, right? Like what college did Diddy go to? What college did Diddy go to? He went to Howard, right? Don't he has like some Diddy honorary degree Howard? Yeah, in 2014 he received an honorary doctorate. Yeah, you know it's about it. You know it's like damn near over. When they rescind this, saying yo we taking our shit back, that's what they did to Bill Cosby. Remember when you couldn't stop seeing that? Bill Cosby rescind honorary degree. Look, 42 universities on the status. Look, on the status of Bill Cosby. What the fuck? Monthly article limit. What the fuck? Oh, niggas is tweaking over here. Look, Yale pulls honorary degree. Oh, these are the colleges. Here we go. Look, all of them revoked this shit. Cincinnati, Yale, Notre Dame, Boston College, Temple, Carnegie Mellon, Johns Hopkins, Amherst, like it was a bunch. Is Howard in there? All right, nah, there ain't no Howard in there. But yeah, all of these, they all revoked his honorary degrees. And if that happens to Diddy, man, I mean, that would be like signs of, yeah, that nigga's going to jail.
Combs of abuse.
Yo, the way Diddy ran out, bro, I'm not even trying to make light of this, like no bullshit. That nigga ran out like it was like 1v20. Y'all remember this? Yeah, right here. This is how that nigga ran out. Right.
WC, we've been talking about it all night long. Wait a minute, here comes the WWF, the APA.
This is how this nigga Diddy ran out.
The Hardys with Jericho.
Look.
The ring is filled with both members of all the coalitions, and all hell has broken loose on Raw. And the WWF looks like it's being arena. The Hollies are outnumbered. Hardcore.
Look, I ain't gonna lie. This was the craziest shit ever. Look how Stone Cold pulled up. This nigga was wildin'. This nigga drank about 20 beers and pulled up with a pool stick and whipped ass straight.
Hammered on the concrete.
Look,
Wait a minute.
nigga pulled up in a pickup truck, nigga. This is how Diddy popped out. I kid you not, nigga.
There's Stone Cold.
Look, that's how Diddy popped out. Look. 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 Look.
Stone Cold is beat the hell out of ECW and WCW.
Look.
Stone Cold is to the now backstage in his way from WCW or ECW.
Yo, I'm not even trying to laugh, bro. But that's how Diddy pulled up, gang. Wait till, all right, look. This is how Diddy, look.
They're fighting for all they've got. They're too many numbers. And this
Look.
crowd coming alive, chanting for Stone Cold.
Diddy, that's Diddy with the towel right here.
There's Stone Cold. And the deal is Stone Cold. Oh, he's talking.
Cassie, you motherfucker, trying to get away from me.
He's looking.
Oh, hell no. Oh, he ain't running it. Look.
You know the look in his eyes, JR. You've felt it before. It looks like
Nah, this was the GOAT. This is the GOAT episode of Raw. GOAT. This thing will beat everybody's ass.
Austin is kicking butt. He is kicking butt, taking names. Austin has parted the Red Sea.
Hold that, nigga. Then I think we're just giving out Stone Cold stunners, nigga.
With right hands, with starters.
Dudley Boys catching a Stone Cold stunner. This shit was devious. Hollis. Nah, this thing was going in.
Texas rattlesnake.
Look, another one.
Austin is leading to WWF, who now has the advantage.
Yo, this shit was so crazy, nigga. Nah, this shit was so crazy, nigga. All right, anyway. Nah, bro. Nah, low-key he ran out like The Rock. Nah, The Rock be running to the ring.
The gold.
Anyway, let me get serious, bro. Let me get serious. Okay. Enough of the bullshit, bro. Enough of the bullshit. Jesus. Yo, Diddy, man. Hey, chat, can we do a poll? Because I know some of y'all like get up on soapboxes. After watching this video, are y'all comfortable to say you don't think that Diddy's music should be playlisted or played in public settings anymore? And will you still play his music or play music that he's either featured on or, you know, he's also owned the rights for a bunch of other people, but let's say his music. Do you think his music should be supported anymore?
Against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The video, captured on multiple cameras, shows Combs assaulting his then-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, in a hallway at a Los Angeles.
Oh, hell nah. Chat, y'all ain't shit. Niggas said, yo, that nigga look like Val Venus with the towel, bro. Niggas said, why the hell did Diddy look like this, my nigga? Y'all niggas is going to hell. Y'all better install an AC, nigga. What the fuck? This is entrance video. Nah, you gotta see when he's walking to the ring. Why my computer so fucking slow now? I think somebody's hacking it. If Val Venus was a wrestler who used to walk to the ring with like a towel on, this nigga right here.
Doctors want to reevaluate the tests. So tomorrow night on Raw, we will have an update on this.
Hell nah, Diddy wasn't walking like that, nigga. Yo, Diddy was running like
Serious situation.
it's kind of the same thing though.
Doctors want to reevaluate the tests. So tomorrow night on Raw.
Nah, this is crazy. Anyway.
Angeles Hotel in March 2016. A lawsuit filed by Ventura in November.
Hey, I seen someone sent a donation and they say, yo, Ak, what about if Cassie was stealing from Diddy? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Even stealing from someone doesn't really justify this. I'm going to be honest with you. And y'all know the chicks have stolen from me before. Like a lot of shit. that doesn't justify this type of, bro. It doesn't justify putting your hands on him. Period. But this type of beatdown right here, bro.
Last year and settled the next day referenced actions that seem to match those seen in this video. There is no audio. According to the complaint, Combs became extremely intoxicated and punched Miss Ventura in the face, giving her a black eye, which, according to the lawsuit, prompted Ventura to try and leave the hotel
Yo, it's like she's tiptoeing to the elevator, bro.
room. The surveillance video obtained by CNN begins as she enters the hallway. The complaint says as she exited, Mr. Combs awoke and began screaming at Miss Ventura. He followed her into the hallway of the hotel while yelling at her. The complaint goes on to say,
Somebody says she probably caught him in the room with a nigga. Yo, that's crazy. Somebody said, look how he kicked her again and again while she was already on the floor. Imagine his daughters watching this awful thing. Somebody says, this dude beats women, but he loves men. Somebody said, damn, nigga beating her up like she's a nigga on the street. Somebody said, the kick on the ground is the ultimate coward move. I think the whole thing is, yo, she has a hoodie on. She can't, like, she probably hears him, like, coming, but she's still, like, you know, she's like this. She can't really see. This is a blind spot, and he just clobbers her, dog. Like, you know what I mean? Like, crazy. Somebody says having sex with men and stomping out a woman is nasty work. Damn.
he grabbed her and then took glass vases in the hallway and threw them at her. In the surveillance video, Combs can be seen grabbing Ventura and throwing her to the ground. As Ventura lies on the ground, Combs then kicks her twice and attempts to drag her on the floor back to the hotel room. Ventura is seen picking up a hotel phone. Combs seems to walk back to the hotel room, then returns and appears to shove her in a corner. Moments later, he can be seen throwing an object in her direction. According to Ventura,
I wonder what that argument was about. I mean, she kind of outlined some shit in here. She said, this is something that might end up fucking Diddy. No Diddy with that. So even when she deleted the video, Combs would tell Cassie that he was able to recover deleted videos from her devices. So apparently he used to use her devices to record too. Okay. You know what I'm trying to look for right now, chat? Okay, so we know something happened in May or March 5th, 2016. When was the next time she was seen in public? Let's look up 2016 in here. Didn't she go to an award show back then? Cassie Award Show 2016. In 2016, did she? Okay, she went to the MTV Music Video Awards. When was that, though? And she had yellow hair on. Does anybody know? Remember that one awkward Cassie and Diddy interview at an award show and Cassie Diddy interview award show. I think it was that was a Met Gala. Here we go. Sorry.
What a beautiful dress you look.
Thank you so much.
I wanted to ask you, can't wait to see 3 a.m.
Yes.
The controversy.
Yeah.
How can we get a tape of this?
Oh, I'm going to send it to you. I will email it to you.
Email me the whole thing.
Yes,
I love
yes,
it. I love that you're constantly crushing the glass ceiling or crushing the black ceiling.
Yes.
You're one of the first. One of the first.
And I'm blessed to be in this industry.
Yes, and you're blessed.
I just try to blend it with my artistry.
Yeah, and you create that. I'm thrilled. I want to see that like tomorrow, 8 p.m. Send it to me at 3 a.m. in the morning, okay?
Yeah, definitely.
You both look great. I'll see you inside.
Oh, thank you.
By the way, here's a 9-minute version of that video. Maybe TMZ, not TMZ, CNN will tell or kind of give us.
You're going to show us the video, but first, give us some context on what we're about to see.
I want to know how they got it.
Yes, Jake, this is incredibly disturbing footage, so I do want to warn our viewers, as you did. But as you said, Cassie's lawsuit, which was filed in November of 2023 and then was quickly settled overnight, it did open the floodgates. But in that complaint, Jake, she details an incident that she alleged happened in March of 2016 at a hotel in Los Angeles. She claimed in her lawsuit that she was physically assaulted by Diddy. Now our team in the LA Bureau, we have got our hands on that surveillance footage, and it appears to corroborate Cassie's claims identically. Really, Jake, the lawsuit lines up with exactly what we are seeing. So let's take a look. New surveillance footage obtained exclusively by CNN appears to corroborate some of the allegations of abuse against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs. The video, captured on multiple cameras, shows Combs wearing only a towel, assaulting his then-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, in a hallway at a Los Angeles hotel in March 2016. A lawsuit filed by Ventura in November last year and settled the next day referenced actions that seem to match those seen in this video. There is no audio. According to the complaint, Combs became extremely intoxicated and punched Miss Ventura in the face, giving her a black eye, which, according to the lawsuit, prompted Ventura to try and leave the hotel room. The surveillance video obtained by CNN begins as she enters the hallway. The complaint says, as she exited, Mr. Combs awoke and began screaming at Miss Ventura. He followed.
Yo, her frantic, nervous walk is a little sad, bro. It's not even a little sad. It's extremely sad. Like, you could tell she's nervous. She's trying to be quiet. She's trying to get out there. And it's one of those things where you could tell she's scared, but she's not running. Because maybe running is going to, like, be worse. But so you're just trying to, like, walk as fast as you can.
Leave the hotel room. The surveillance video obtained by CNN begins as she enters the hallway. The complaint says, as she exited, Mr. Combs awoke and began screaming at Miss Ventura. He followed her into the hallway of the hotel while yelling at her. The complaint goes on to say he grabbed her and then took glass vases in the hallway and threw them at her. In the surveillance video, Combs can be seen grabbing Ventura and throwing her to the ground. As Ventura lies on the ground, Combs then kicks her twice and attempts to drag her on the floor back to the hotel room. Ventura is seen picking up a hotel phone. Combs seems to walk back to the hotel room, then returns and appears to shove her in a corner. Moments later, he can then be seen throwing an object in her direction. According to Ventura's
Again, not that this question is even relevant at this juncture, but why do you, we know Diddy was drunk, but what the fuck do you think could have caused this? If y'all were just having a freak off, some crazy sexual experience that Diddy loves, maybe she didn't want to do it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe she was sucking one of them niggas off a little bit too long. I don't know, like, remember, this was all supposedly at the direction of Diddy, who she's described Diddy treated this as his personal art project, right?
Now settled lawsuit, the pair began dating several years after they met in 2005. They parted ways in 2019. Combs' attorney said the decision to settle was in no way an admission of wrongdoing. Ventura declined to comment on the video, but her attorney told CNN the gut-wrenching video has only further confirmed the disturbing and predatory behavior of Mr. Combs. Words cannot express the courage and fortitude that Miss Ventura has shown in coming forward to bring this to light. The video hasn't been seen publicly before and comes on the heels of a series of civil lawsuits alleging Combs' involvement in sex trafficking and sexual abuse. Allegations that Combs...
Oh, you know what somebody just told me? Intercontinental Century City has been closed for years. Huh? But this looks like it's open. Looks like it's open. Or maybe there was another one. Maybe there's another one? That's why some people saying they believe it was seized from his house because was the hotel closed for years? Intercontinental. Or they're saying that location was closed. Is it closed? Intercontinental. Or it could be an employee that's just like, all right, it's spinning the block. But again, I still think they want to get paid.
Has repeatedly denied. Authorities searched Combs' homes in Los Angeles and Miami in April as part of an ongoing federal investigation carried out by a team that specializes in human trafficking crimes. In a December 2023 statement, Combs responded to the claims in some of the lawsuits, saying, "Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged." Now, that Instagram post from Diddy was back in December. That was not in relation directly to Cassie. It was referencing many of these allegations and lawsuits that he faces. Now, I have reached out to Diddy's team. We have not heard back from them today. But, Jake, I do want to point out there was a settlement deal between Diddy and Cassie. So neither of them can speak. But, again, we're still waiting to hear back from his team. Now, a really great point that you brought up top, Jake, was what is going on in Diddy's world, right? We've all heard stories of Hollywood enablers and enablers in circles around powerful people. But something that I want to point out, Diddy is one of the most powerful people in music history. He is a mogul. We have not seen any support in Hollywood. All of his famous friends, since these allegations came forward, we have not seen anyone come to his defense. And that silence is very loud, Jake.
Yeah, Elizabeth Wagmeister, thank you so much. Incredible work by the LA Bureau.
A racketeering case, a RICO case based on human trafficking, and
He been charged with any.
Oh, here we go. This is what I told y'all.
Cassie filed her lawsuit in November. The feds raided Diddy's home in March. Now we see this awful video, which is more than 8 years old. And yet Diddy has still not been charged with anything. I would think there would be grounds for his arrest in that video. Why hasn't he been charged with anything?
well, the video is out of the statute of limitations. The statute of limitations in California for a simple assault is a year. For domestic violence assault, it was 3 years. They've moved that up to 5 years. But this is out of range for a state charge in California. However, let's get back to that federal investigation. What HSI, Homeland Security Investigations, is doing, as Elizabeth framed it, is they are building a racketeering case, a RICO case based on human trafficking and allegations startlingly similar that track those that have been made in Cassie Ventura's lawsuit and in a lawsuit by another individual who worked for Combs that tell these stories of people being brought in the presence of weapons and drugs and so on. It's very much like what they did in the R. Kelly case, which got him 30 years in prison. So this charge, even though it's state crime is out of the statute of limitations, would be fair game in that federal case.
Yeah. Julie, Cassie's lawsuit claims that hotel security staff saw what was happening on surveillance, and they urged her to go home. The lawsuit then claims that Diddy paid $50,000 to get that footage from hallway security. CNN has reached out to the hotel for comment, not a hotel I'll ever want to stay at. How serious would it be if they witnessed an assault, did not report it, and then accepted money to basically disappear the security footage?
Well, there's certainly a question of negligence on the hotel's part. And by the way, this just didn't happen in a hotel in LA. These kinds of incidents have been happening in hotels in Manhattan and in Miami Beach as well. So there presumably could be other video, because all these hotels have cameras. There presumably could be other video out there. And in addition, a couple of the other lawsuits that have been filed against him allege that that there is video evidence. And that is exactly what authorities were trying to get their hands on when they conducted their searches of his homes in Miami Beach and in California and LA.
John, assuming that Sean Combs, Diddy, is eventually charged, how important might this video be?
Well, it's going to be very important to the assault charge. It's going to be very important to the credibility of Cassie Ventura as a witness. Remember, when she brought that lawsuit, Ben Brafman, Combs' lawyer, called it baseless, outrageous lies from somebody looking for a payday, claimed that she had tried to blackmail them, that she demanded $30 million. That video is stunningly supportive of her credibility, of her allegations. It unfolds exactly as she charged it did in her lawsuit. So it will help her if she becomes a witness in that case, and it will probably be a chargeable offense in the federal case if and when it comes.
Julie, the allegations against Diddy go far beyond Cassie's story, of course. Multiple lawsuits filed in the past year claim that Diddy hosted what he called freak-offs, sex parties so brutal that the young men and women would sometimes vomit and pass out from being drugged. They would be beaten. They would be raped. They alleged that Diddy filmed it and directed his staff to change lighting or bedding to better display the people who were performing for him sexually. These are allegations. Does this remind you at all of the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking case? And how did they get away with it?
Well, remember the Jeffrey Epstein case happened decades ago, so they didn't have cell phones, for example, or this kind of recording technology. So we're far ahead of that in this. And even though they have some of that material, I'm sure what they're also going to look for is bank accounts, evidence that he paid people, including people that provided him with underage victims. And that's really the key here is whether they're going to be able to show that he also was engaged with sex trafficking minors, which is a very far more serious crime because of, their age, and also the fact that he has all this, other video evidence that he was allegedly committing these kinds of offenses.
Julie K. Brown and John Miller, thanks to both.
Hey, by the way, you know who has just chimed in? Slim Thug, who notoriously defended Diddy before, has now came out and said, "Damn, Diddy, I tried to ride with a black man who had no charges yet, but I can't stand behind this. I'll take this L. But I'll still ride with my people until I see some sort of proof. I don't believe in blogs or civil suit. Apologies to Cassie and whoever else was on the right side this time." Okay? I think this is what he said previously.
Cosby coming back and getting puffed. I don't believe in that, man. When shit go down, speak on that shit right then, or it's out of it. It should be null and void. You shouldn't even have no type of nothing. You shouldn't be able to do shit unless you let the people know what happened immediately. There should be a time limit on this shit. What happened was you got around them stand up on love shit. This is what happened. I'm gonna tell you what always happened, right? You was with a billionaire with all this bread all this time, and then you went followed your heart to with a trainer. That motherfucking apartment got smiled in the bitch. That lifestyle fell off. Now it's struggle time. The love wearing off, and now you trying to come up with ways to figure out how to get paid. Now I'm healed and I can talk about it. I want to expose niggas in my books. You back and getting Bill Cosby. Did that. You participated. You ain't say for nothing. You did that. So stand on that, man. Quit trying to expose people for money. Like, what the Nah, that apartment got small. You and that dude you left for love. You let your homegirls hype you up when you was with him. You let them homegirls hype you up to tell you, girl, he treating you bad. He cheating on you. He messing with them. Did that. You participated.
This aged badly. Okay. So we also do have apparently 2 days after the attack, right? 2 days after the attack, Diddy actually attended the premiere of The Perfect Match with Cassie. So 2 days after he gave her a black eye. The Perfect Match, let me see, March 7, 2016. Okay. It says Cassie seen with multiple bruises on the red carpet. Whoa. She's seen with multiple bruises on the red carpet just 2 days after brutal Sean Combs attack. Cassie Ventura was photographed just 2 days after she was beaten and dragged by her ex, Sean Diddy Combs in 2016, the model seemingly had several bruises while walking the red carpet for a movie premiere, The Perfect Match, on March 7, 2016, where the two arrives hand in hand. For the carpet, Ventura wore a gold and black sleeveless dress, which seemingly showed off a bruise on her upper left arm. Oh, goddamn, they got this shit like it's a... All right, let's see if we're going to have to zoom in a bit. What the fuck? Hold on, sorry, Chad. What the fuck? Goddamn, man. What the hell? My computer's just acting up today, Chad. Oh, fuck. Okay, here we go. Let's see if this is... This kind of looked like a bruise right here, right? Or this is like, I don't know. I guess those are bruises. I don't know. Bro, I really don't know, dog. But I would imagine she definitely had some bruises. Yeah, her face do look a little different, not gonna lie. Oh, this is her there. Who the hell is that? I have no idea who that is. Let me see. Perfect Match premiere. It's another photo. She still looks very beautiful. I can't really tell. I don't know. I'm pretty sure she did a lot to conceal those bruises, though. Okay. Diddy's former assistant actually reacted to this, and this is what she said.
Tonight, CNN has exclusively obtained 2016 surveillance video showing Sean Diddy Combs physically assaulting his then-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, in the hallway of a Los Angeles hotel. I want to warn you because we're going to show you this video, and it is disturbing. At the beginning, you see Ventura in the hotel elevator, barefoot, trying to put her shoes on, and then around the corner, here in the video, as she's got her bags with her, comes Diddy holding a towel around his waist, running down the hall. He grabs her by the back of her neck and he throws her to the floor, still holding his towel closed with the other hand, as he turns to kick her. Seconds after that, where you see him grabbing her bags here in the hallway, he's seen here, sitting down in a chair, grabbing an object off the table, we believe it's a vase, and throwing it at her. This incident is important, and it matches the allegations that are in a now settled lawsuit that she filed against him last November. Allegations about what happened at the since-closed Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles. Diddy's attorney says that there was no admission of wrongdoing as a result of that settlement, and I should note that he has previously vehemently denied these allegations. But after CNN obtained this video and published it today, Ventura's now husband appeared to respond on Instagram, posting a message addressed to the women and children on there. He says in part, and I'm quoting him now, "Men who hit women aren't men. Men who enable it and protect those people aren't men. To all the survivors, your stories are real and people believe you. To the abusers, you're done. You're not safe anymore. You're not protected anymore. And the men by your side are just as weak." I want to bring someone in who knows Diddy personally. Susie Siegel was his former assistant during the time that he began dating Cassie Ventura, the singer. And I should note, you became his assistant as a part of the reality show to work for him.
I did.
Everyone remembers watching that. I mean, what is it like for you to see this video that came out today?
I felt sick. And I felt violently angry. And I felt like I'm sure a lot of men and women feel looking at that video, that it's so disturbing that the video doesn't lie.
I mean, when I watched it, what stood out to me initially after Elizabeth Wagmeister got it was she's barefoot in the beginning. And it's like she was so quickly running out of the room to get to the elevator that she didn't even put her shoes on yet.
I mean, that's terror. That's what you would do if there was a fire, right? You would just run out, grab what you could. So I can only imagine looking at that, the fear that she felt she had to get out of that room in bare feet in order to be safe or protect herself.
I mean, you worked closely with him.
I did. I was his assistant between 2008 and 2009, and they were dating when I worked for him.
And what was he like, and what did you observe about them at this time?
I observed nothing that would lead me to believe, or there was no scuttlebutt about it. I never saw him speak harshly to her or be abusive toward her or anything like that. I rode in the limos with them. I went to parties with them. I guess what I would say is, even though I never saw anything that could corroborate what's in that lawsuit and what we just saw, there was not one cell in my body that was surprised.
Why not?
You know, it's going to sound a little bit weird because I don't have any facts, right? And nobody's going to call me to testify. But I would say that it's woman's intuition. I would say that I was around him a lot and I got a feeling for who he was. I didn't see anything that could get him in trouble. But I think that the power dynamic in a situation like that, especially her at the beginning of her career, so young and beautiful and talented, and she hooked herself or became involved with somebody who had so much power. And I felt that working for him. I'm sure the whole team felt that. And I mean, that's right, he's a mogul, so of course he's the big boss. But I think that you could imagine, certainly in my interactions with him, you could imagine how that would dissipate and sort of seep into every aspect of his life, and especially his relationships.
Yeah, because, I mean, she was 19, I believe, and he was 37 when they first began dating.
Right. So imagine how that would be, and then he's rich, and not only is he rich, but he controls your career. And all you want in your career, right, is she's an artist. She wants to make music. She really was an artist, is an artist. And now all of a sudden, she's with somebody who could make that happen for her, and it doesn't happen.
So you don't, it wasn't anything specific. You got a strange, uncomfortable feeling from him?
I mean, I think it's more to do with the way that he treated people. Again, nobody was mistreated that I saw. I didn't feel mistreated, but it was very clear to me. Again, this is intuition, right? This is what we pick up as women and humans who are smart and have been around. He just didn't see your humanity when he looked at you. It felt very obvious to me that everyone was just sort of there to be used, that he can get the most out of you. You know, for example, I went to go work for him. I'm a pretty senior person. It was sort of an odd thing. I have a fancy master's degree, whatever, who cares? But it was, you know, he wanted to get me for as cheaply as he could. And most people would just dive in and take it, right? Because you think that you're going to get something by working for him.
And I wonder how that video, which, you know, he denied a lot these allegations, and those allegations were in the lawsuit. I mean, he's facing 5 other civil lawsuits that are accusing him of a range of sexual misconduct and illegal activity. Everyone remembers the raid at his homes in Miami and New York, where it was the part of the Department of Homeland Security that deals with human trafficking. And I should note, he hasn't been charged with anything. They've maintained that he hasn't done anything wrong. But, you know, it must be really strange to see what we see now in black and white on that video, and to be someone who had worked for him.
Well, there you go. That's how you know that your intuition is right? I didn't see that proof. Obviously, I saw it with the rest of America today. But when I saw it, I knew that that was something that he could be capable of. And he's a genius. He's brilliant. He's one of the best minds I've ever been around. But I think when the power differential is so awful and you just can get away with anything that you want.
This is Paris Hilton here talking about how he believes, which...
Watching that hotel surveillance footage from 2016, why had it not come out until now? According to Cassie, the victim in that footage, in the lawsuit that she filed last year against Diddy, she claims that Diddy paid the hotel to get that footage, gave them $50,000, and problem solved. He was in possession of that footage. What I believe happened is, in the recent raid of Diddy's multiple properties, the government came into possession of that, and the government, somebody there leaked it because Team Diddy had that until now, paid $50,000 for it. And after watching that hotel surveillance footage...
So he's pushing this like narrative saying that it must have been taken from Diddy's home. I'm still confused. Why would Diddy have this? By the way, also Stephen A. Smith is jumping in.
I think his career's over. This ain't the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, the 60s. Nah, that shit don't fly in this day and age. You can't get away with that. You never should have been able to ever, ever, ever in life. And sure, it shouldn't take a video to speak 10,000 words, but damn it, it does compared to word of mouth or compared to the written word. When you see the video, it's an entirely different connotation that comes with a different feeling. I might suspect some shit about you when I hear about it. When I see it, there's no way around this. This ain't funny at all. And yes, that was 2016. Well, you acting like that in 2016. Who's to believe you didn't do it in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023? I think his career's over. This ain't the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, the 60s. Nah. That shit don't fly in this day and age. You can't get away with that.
I mean, if I had to ask you, what do you think Diddy's career has been the last couple of years? It definitely hasn't been, if you ask me, been through making money through music. I think he's always going to own his catalog. For somebody like Diddy, you know, he could still make $20-25 million and just kind of play the background for the rest of his life, right? Like, his career is never, you know what I mean? Well, big part of his career is this.
Man, we all watched and witnessed in 4K what Diddy has done, bro. There's no more trying to defend it or anything. Diddy is cooked. He's done. It's over with. Man, I was never one of the ones to try and defend Diddy, but I will say this. I did think a point in time was gonna come where like Diddy just disappears and he repops back up and people might still hate him, but it won't be as bad. It's completely done now. Cause now that this came out, there's gonna be more and more and more stuff that comes out. And they said Diddy paid $50K for like the footage not to come out or anything. Diddy's done. He knows he's done too. Like, there's nothing else to be said. Like, the thing is, like, with cases and stuff, like, it's usually a he say, she say thing until, like, when 4K proof comes out and you see Diddy running out, like, someone's gonna make this into an animated skit. He probably ran, there was probably 2 dudes in the room. He probably ran out from a freak off, high off, we don't know what. And you feel me? Cassie was trying to get out of there quick. She didn't even put her shoes on. And we see what happened, bro. I don't know what's next. I really don't know what to say what's next for Diddy, bro. I don't even know if I feel bad for Diddy. But like, man, all this stuff, it's just crazy, bro. At this point, it's just crazy and it's sad. And man, you can't really feel bad for Diddy because he did it to himself, bro. Like, I seen a comment and someone said, damn, they trying to go so hard at Diddy. Like, look how they target him so hard. Like, bro, when video proof like this comes out, bro, what are you talking about? They're targeting him. He did it to himself. If you never did these things, this would have never happened. And like that, it gets me so hot, bro. Like, cause like before, bro, like I don't want any of this stuff to be true, but it's happened. It's life. Like sometimes it's like with an artist, like you don't want certain things to be true, but stuff just happens. Like, and the crazy thing is, like, Jay-Z's been MIA, and people keep bringing Jay-Z up. I swear, like, now that other people are seeing how stuff is going with Diddy, bro, the whole industry, like, take color out of it. Black, white, Hispanic, probably Asian too. All that, they were probably all like, all the higher ups are probably all doing the same stuff that Diddy's doing. But they're looking at this right now, and I promise you, the people who they know have the proof, they're all getting paid off right now. Every single one of them. NDAs getting paid off, all that stuff. Who knows? They might be getting, I'm not saying that people might hire hitmen, but hey, Diddy probably in this is probably going to lose from now until the rest of his life, probably over $1 billion in profit that he just lost off this case. From now until the future, he probably lost over adding $1 billion extra. He probably lost that, probably more than that easily. Like, think of that. For that much money, yes, someone might get clapped. So people might be getting clapped over these situations. We don't know. But hey, man, I don't want to seem like a conspiracy theorist and go too deep in. But let me know how you guys feel about everything. Who else do we feel like is a part of all of this? You feel me? It's so crazy, bro. That Cat Williams interview really started off the beginning, like how the year was gonna go. He said all the lies are gonna, you feel me, are gonna like fold, wherever he said, and the truth is gonna come to light. All the truths are coming to light, bro. All of it. But you feel me? Man, it's crazy, bro. Let me know how you guys feel about everything, though. It's your boy Big Act News. I'm sorry, Cassie, that this happened to you. I'm not even gonna joke or say any jokes about Cassie. I hope that she's doing good mentally, physically. We don't know what, like, all the stuff that she said in the lawsuit, it has to be true. She got paid 2 days after it. 2 days. Probably $30+ million. And look what's still happening. It still happened to him. He should have paid her before that. He should have never made those documents or even make it to court. He should just paid her, or you feel me, did what he had to do. But man, bro, I don't even know anymore. It's your boy Big Act News. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. It's crazy out here, man.